Okay, it's 6:30. We shall begin. Before we go into the formal meeting, I hope I don't embarrass you, Jenna. But Jenna has some wonderful news. She has been promoted to partner in her law firm. Congratulations. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the City Council meeting for the City of Fairway, Kansas. It is Monday, October 10th, 2022, 6:30 p.m. Nathan, do you have any announcements? I do not.
The only announcement I have is that when we go into executive session, we don't anticipate that there'll be any additional action. So we'll cease our YouTube transmission at the start of executive session.
Okay. And one correction to the agenda?
Yes. Under consent item A, there were no special meetings, so there are no special meeting minutes.
All right, thank you. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have a proclamation for Indigenous Peoples Day that I would like to read into the record this evening. Whereas the City of Fairway recognizes that the indigenous peoples of the lands that would later become known as the Americas have occupied these lands since time immemorial. And the City of Fairway recognizes that Fairway is built upon the homelands of indigenous peoples. And Fairway, Kansas is home to the Shawnee Indian Mission State Historical Site, which was placed in the National Register for Historic Places in 1968, whereas the City of Fairway values the many contributions made to this area through indigenous peoples' intellectual, spiritual, and the deep cultural contribution that have enhanced the character of the City of Fairway. And whereas the idea of Indigenous Peoples Day was first proposed in 1977 by a delegation of Native nations to United Nations. And now, therefore, I, Melanie Hepperly, Mayor of the City of Fairway, Kansas, do hereby proclaim Monday, October 10th, 2022, as Indigenous Peoples Day in the City of Fairway and urge citizens to reflect upon the culturally diverse struggles of Indigenous people on this land. All right, we'll go to the monthly reports of the standing committees, and Chief Steve Chick with Fire District Number 2 is with us this evening. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Mayor and Council. I'll keep it brief tonight.
Okay.
Just a quick report that last month we did attend the County Commission meeting seeking approval for our budget, which our Fire Board had approved, but we also have to have approved by the County Commission. We did receive approval, actually received the most votes out of any of the fire district budgets, so I'm kind of proud of that. But at this point, we're moving forward with the initiatives that we have in that budget for 2023. The one thing I'd like to mention to you all is that we're gonna be going through a new strategic planning phase, and we're going to revisit our mission, vision, and values just to make sure they're updated during that process. And we'll be reaching out to people from within the district to get resident involvement in some of that. So
great.
That'll be upcoming in early 2023. So.
Great.
And then you have my report, and I'll let that stand for what it is, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions for the chief this evening? John Allen?
Just a quick comment. Our neighborhood had a block party that the city helped us with. You weren't here last month, so the month before that, and your firemen were the hit of the party. So thanks for having them come out. That means a lot for those kids, so thank you.
Well, I'm glad we were able to do that.
And thanks for coming out to Ward 1 as well.
You're welcome.
This past week. I think that was a week ago Sunday.
Yeah. A week ago.
They've done a lot of block parties lately.
I was going to say, you've been busy. You did one right next to my house, too. Thank you very much.
We're happy to do those.
Anyone else? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. You all have a great evening.
You too. Admin and Finance, Nathan?
I'll let the report stand as submitted. Just the one comment I'll make about the finances. We're at the Administration and Finance Committee. We did not have the sales tax distribution for September yet. And when that came in on September 30th, it was the second highest we'd received. So it was I think it was right around $280,000. So sales tax came in very strong for July.
Great news. Any questions for Nathan? All right. Police report, Chief?
Thanks. I'll let my report stand, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any for the chief? We're good to go? Okay. Public Works, we will let that report stand as submitted. Any questions? Okay. And Parks and Rec, we will let that report stand as submitted. I would like to congratulate Bryce and his staff, Jackson and Vicky, for an outstanding season. And if you have not had a chance to read his report, it's a very detailed analysis and shows just that. And it's remarkable. They had a great, great year. Any questions concerning his report? Okay. Monthly reports of the special committees. Tree Board, Nathan?
No report? They
right.
did meet, but I don't have a report. So
Okay.
we'll try to get that for next month.
Okay. Public comment for consent agenda items only. Is there anyone that would like to comment on the two items? I will read them into the record. Item A under consent agenda is to approve the minutes of the previous regular city council meeting. And item B, approve claims and appropriations, ordinance number 1770, September 2022. Any public comment? Seeing none, I'll close that. And if any council would like to remove an item for discussion, now would be the time to do it. No? Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve A and B under the consent agenda. All those in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Passes unanimously. Moving on to new business. Item A is to consider ordinance number 1771. That is what we commonly refer to as STO, an ordinance relating to the regulation of traffic within the corporate limits of the city of Fairway, Kansas, incorporating by reference the standard traffic ordinance for Kansas City's 49th edition, with certain additions, amending or readopting and repealing existing sections 10 through 19 through 10-19 through 10-22 inclusive, and sections 10-48 through 10-66 inclusive of the Code of Ordinances, City of Fairway, Kansas, and repealing ordinance number 1751. Chief, do you have anything that you'd like to say about that ordinance beyond what's in the council packet?
No, I don't.
Okay. Any questions at all? Is there a motion?
Yes, Mayor. I move that we approve ordinance number 1771 as recited by you.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance number 1771. Any comment from the public?
Mayor, I would just note that these are routine. We do the STO and UPOC are ordinances that we pass annually, and they just reflect minor changes that come from the state. And if there were major changes, we'd be having a discussion about those.
Okay, thank you for that clarity. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Passes unanimously. And the partner to that ordinance is to consider ordinance number 1772, which is the UPOC, Uniform Public I'll say offense, Code for Kansas Cities. An ordinance relating to the regulation of public offenses within the corporate limits to the city of Fairway, Kansas, incorporating by reference UPOC for Kansas City's 38th edition with certain changes, amending and repealing existing sections 8-25, 8-26, 8-27, 8-29, 8-30, and section 8-49 through 8-55 inclusive of the Code of Ordinance, City of Fairway, Kansas, and repealing ordinance number 1752. Chief, any comments about UPOC?
No.
Okay, that is, as Nathan stated, the same as item A. These are incorporating the changes from the state statutes into our ordinances. Okay, any discussion from the public on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 1772.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance number 1772. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Passes unanimously. And item C, consider ordinance number 1773, an ordinance relating to the Fairway Development ordinances pertaining to building permit application within the corporate limits of the City of Fairway, Kansas, amending and repealing existing sections 15-852. Nathan, will you cover that for us,
Sure.
please?
So this is just a follow-up from the conversation we had at the Administration and Finance Committee meeting on September 30th. And this is all precipitated by the fact that the redevelopment project at 4210, 4220 is anticipated to take about 20 to 24 months. And our code only allows for 6-month permits for this type of project. And so this adjusts our code to allow for longer times for commercial projects. I just would highlight that the fee structure, the way the fees are calculated for commercial, is much different than how they're calculated for residential. And in fact, the scale that we use for commercial has not been changed in some time, whereas the residential piece has been. So that is part of why what we're recommending here is that we give the community development director a year, the ability to extend it for a full year. So that gives them the 2 years, because the permit structure is quite different for commercial and it's a higher fee. So there wouldn't be the need to assess the second or the half the original fee like we do for residential. So and then there were just a few other opportunities to clear up some language in here that Hannah took advantage of. So.
Okay, any questions for Nathan? All right, I'll open it to public comment on ordinance number 1773. Any comments? Nope. Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 1773 relating to the Fairway Development ordinances pertaining to building permit applications within the corporate limits of the City of Fairway, Kansas, which also amends and repeals existing section 15852.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance number 1773. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
No? Okay. Passes unanimously. All right, next on the agenda is the governing body comment. During this time, members of the governing body will be given the opportunity to speak about matters related to the city. No formal action will be taken during this time. Any comments, ideas to share?
Mayor, I would like to make a quick comment. Based on the Reinhardt Estates annual fall festival, I can say that at least one portion of Fairway is getting considerably younger. The Kathy Lyons Flora Park was packed with kids, bounce houses, Girl Guys food truck. I didn't think we had that many kids in Fairway altogether, but it's just amazing to see how much younger our city is getting, which is a great sign for the future.
Yes, it is. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Okay, I'll close this section of the governing body comment, and I'll open the floor for any public comment for items not listed on the agenda. Any items to be discussed? No? All right, I'll close that section of the public comment. And I will ask Joe to read the executive session motion.
I move that the city council recess into executive session to obtain legal advice related to the Shawnee Indian Mission pursuant to the attorney-client
45 minutes?
7:30.
7:30. All right, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, we'll see you back here at 7:30. No action will be taking place during the meeting, so when we come back, we will immediately adjourn.